Okay, welcome back, YouTube. Going to do another chart review, different than the one I did yesterday. Yesterday I was doing kind of bar by bar updates throughout the day. That one was kind of taxing. I don't think I'm going to do that again. So anyway, let's get into it. Today is the 24th of June. Context going into the day. We'll hide that bar real quick. But we've been in this kind of referencing. So I watched Brad Wolf do his bar by bar review the other day, and so I'm kind of going to copy a little bit what he said, which is that we've been, in this tight bull channel for a while. We finally broke that channel um, pretty strongly here. First attempt failed, second strong retested now, and now we're selling off from that retest, but most likely in a trading range. Found some buyers down here at the end of yesterday. This is where we previously found buyers last week or 2 weeks ago, and now odds are that we'll do the same again here, unless it becomes a pretty strong breakout attempt, but doesn't look like the setup is right quite yet. So should see test back up to all-time highs, but it could always break out below. So then today, this was today. So yesterday we had trading range triangle type day. On the open of the day, I wrote some notes. So we had bar one, pretty big bar, possibly a measuring bar, but it's still in a range, kind of at the top of the range. So the risk reward is not good. And, this range hasn't quite broken yet. And so with that in mind, you still want to, buy low, sell high, and scalp. Now there should be buyers below this at yesterday's close, below one low, but likely sellers above. And that happened on two, pretty good sell bar. Some stop order sellers could have sold that. I don't know if that was quite 2R there, but decent scalp down from the top of the range, or limit order sellers above the high. And then again down here, lower time frame, that 1, 2, 3 pushes in a trading range, tested the one low and found buyers. Strong scalp up within 2 bars, tested the top of the range again, but that's one leg 2. Now possibly going to get a second leg of this, or if you want to count it separately, a whole separate TBTL for the bears here, which I'll probably count it that way. I'll say this was 3, and this is a separate sequence. So bar 6 inside bar, pretty strong. Risk reward not as great to sell the close. So sellers probably on a pullback, and there was about half this move right in here on 7, and then 7 pretty strong bar after the pullback. Sellers probably above, but middle of the range, so not as many sellers here at the close or the low. 8, not a great buy signal. Probably sellers at the close, sellers above, and maybe buyers below. Got some there. 9, again, not a great sell signal. So probably trading range bar, sellers above, buyers below. Breakout bar here on 10 of this small tight trading range on lower time frame. Second leg due for 6, 7, and so here it is incoming. Buyers probably down here at the 4 low, and we got those on 10. 10 big bar, possible measuring bar. So measured move of 1, you would say this failed because it tested below the low of 1. Like if you had bought the 1 close or above the 1 high, you probably would have put a price action stop below 1 low and tried to go for a measured move, and you would have got stopped out on 4 here. And same kind of thing here on 6. If you try to do the same thing, you would have got stopped out here. On 10, another measuring bar, could do it again, stop below. Follow through is good, and this one ended up getting a good measured move up. 12, 13, decent follow through. Smaller time frame, 1, 2, 3, wedge top. So pullback due, implied 2 legs within here most likely. And then 15, another breakout bar, good close above this high. And this, this would be the 5th push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After 5 pushes, more likely to get a breakout. And that's why, Al always says about 80% of breakouts fail. It's because, if you're in a trading range or a channel, you're typically going to get 5 pushes, and on the fifth one is when you get a breakout. So 15, strong bar, very good close, possible measuring bar. Found buyers at the close and good buying. Started to find sellers up here at this channel line. Then 18, another potential measuring bar. And so you can see, got that measured move. And got this one as well. 18, potential measuring bar, but trying to break out above a channel. Most of those breakouts fail. So, and also close to the hourly MA, yesterday's high, probably a lot of resistance in here where it has sold off. And so found sellers above, that makes sense. So 19, decent sell signal though, but first entry short from the MA, probably just a scalp from there. More sellers going to wait for a second entry short. So, got a good scalp down here. Buyers below 18 low. 22, pretty strong bar. This was due for a second leg from the breakout, and here it is in here. Or at least this is the attempt. Normally you would think, for the second leg to work, it should break this high. 24, pretty strong bar, but we're not getting good follow through. After 22, bad follow through. 24, strong bar. 25, bad follow through. So it's feeling more like a trading range at that point. In here, can't get above this high, can't get good follow through for bulls. And 25 comes in, second entry short, potential double top at MA at yesterday's high, possible swing short setup, and it did end up becoming that. For anybody who was in there, you'd have to sit through a couple tests of that, but afterwards sold off pretty strongly. So at minimum, scalp down, bottom of the range, and then should get TBTL. So 1, 2, and third leg attempt, or you could say, this was a 3 legs. So I called this a wedge pullback here with this 21, 28, 32 low. 32 was a second, third entry long for bulls after a wedge pullback. Some probably tried to buy this, but it's not a great signal. Couldn't close above the MA and didn't get very good follow through on 33. Sellers above at this trend line forming off of the 25 high and 29 high. So that's a bad sign for the bulls here. A lot of overlapping bars, pretty choppy, not something that you really want to play in. Probably a tight trading range. Buy low, sell high, scalp. Wait for 5 pushes for it to break out. So if we're thinking that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bull breakout attempt fails. 36, strong sell comes in. Triggers bad sell signal. 35 low. But it doesn't matter. They get a strong selling on 36 and good follow through 37. And, post 5 pushes, it is a wedge bottom. And so that's one of those things where, usually you don't have a breakout below a wedge bottom, but if you do get one, then it's likely to go for a measured move. And so probably not a whole lot of people thinking that it's a great idea to sell 36 or 37, but after 38, odds are now that this breakout below the wedge is going to succeed. It's tested far beyond the top of this range already, coming back down here. Maybe some bears who tried to sell, 14 or above 14, either or, then got trapped in, are getting out. And that's why we see some slowdown here. Also, this is that measured move down area of the wedge. So bar 40, inside bar, doji, trading range bar. This is pretty strong first leg, should get a second. Call this the pullback. 2 legs, potentially. Or, I like to think of this in a couple ways because markets are fractal, and so on a lower time frame, it is certainly 2 legs, and on a higher time frame, it's not quite 2 legs yet. Like here on the 15-minute, this was all 1 leg down, and this was the second leg. And so here on 5, you could call this 1 pullback 2. Bulls make an attempt and it fail to get a second leg, and then you're going to get, when the low probability thing happens, you're going to get a measured move down minimum is what you should expect. And so got something like that there. Or you could think of this as 44 was a surprise bar, measuring bar, and could get measured move of 44, and you did. So after 44, pretty strong selling, good chance we're going to test. Very good chance we're going to test low day because it's already pretty close, but good chance you could also test the Globex low and yesterday's low. And, it's sold off, very tight micro channel down there. And that's where it found support at Y low for the rest of the day, essentially. And so, if you're trading this, you see this is 1 leg on the 15-minute. First reversal attempt here, likely to fail. It does break out of this channel. If you had a different line drawn in, like this one from earlier, you might say, all right, first reversal going to fail, should get a retest. You can sell off that if you'd like to. And then once you get sideways here for quite a bit, most likely going to break out into a trading range of some kind. Now, a lot of crazy things happened into the close, found a lot of support here. Buyers came in. And so I'd marked this on my chart earlier when I walked away. Was going to try to get into a trade here on 70, right down here in this, thinking bottom of range, buy low, sell high or scalp. But I was walking away for the day, so I just marked it and walked away, and turns out it would have worked. But anyway, point made. Trading range day, and let's see, reasonable scalps. So this was a day where I marked these up. You could have tried multiple times to just buy the close or sell the close of measuring bars, and you would have had a lot of opportunities. And let's see, if your strategy was buy the close, scale in lower, stop below, then you would have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 wins, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 losers. And that's excluding anything after bar 64. Then, could have had a positive day. So anyway, just food for thought there. Trading range day. Other, reasonable swings. Talked about 25 here. As far as swing longs, probably 69 here. Looks pretty decent. 65, maybe reasonable, but after 66, probably would have, with a stop below 65, after 66, probably would have wanted to get out and wait, since 66, decent sell signal, and this was a pretty strong leg, should get a second leg. So those are swing setups, and then scalping, selling the close of measuring bars, as we talked about, with trend. And then in these small trading ranges, buying low, selling high, and scalping. So 1 low, 4 low, 1 high, 2 high, up here, 19 high, 21 low, yesterday's low, 52 low, 48 low. So anyway, that is it for this. Oh, meant to hide that the whole time. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this is helpful for you. Please like and subscribe.